Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The people you are about to meet are innocent. Only their faces have been changed to make them look real. Now, tonight, I would like to take a picture of my audience so that all of you nice people, and all the rest of you too, all over the country, gather around your television set and look this way and smile, please. Say cheese. See, I promised my mother that I would get a snapshot of my audience. Now, this is for Mom. So, everybody, cheese. Oh, in case anybody's wondering who I happen to be George Gobel. And it's kind of interesting how I happen to be George Gobel, too, because a number of years ago, my father, Herman Gobel, met my mother, Lillian. And, well, I guess you know how it happened. Cheese, everybody. Now, just look this way. Now, there we are. Now, look at the dirty birdie. Cheese. There. Oh, darn it. The picture was ruined. Plumb ruined. Some clown in Oklahoma City moved. Oh, there you are. And here I am, and here's the show.
The George Gobel Show, starring George Gobel, with his guest, Miss Faye Emerson, pretty, perky Peggy King, John Scott Trotter and his orchestra. Because coming into your living rooms once again is the man who is coming into your living rooms once again. The star of our show, George Gobel.
Thank you. I just wanted to see how many of you people can read. Now then, the other night, Alice and I were sitting around the house. Alice is my wife. I married her, you see. And the reason I married her is because I like her mother so much. I would have married her mother, except that by the time I met Alice, her mother was already taken. But that's the way it goes. The good ones are always snapped up first. But I digress. Do you digress? I digress. But anyway, like I started to say, Alice and I were talking about having our home redecorated. I say, we were talking. It wasn't we. It was she. She was talking. I was digressing. She'd say, George, which is what she always called me at the beginning of an argument, and this was the beginning of a dandy. Believe thee me. This was, this is one of the best arguments we ever had. And I say the best, because I won. See, well, now, won isn't exactly the right word either. Lost would be a better word. See, I lost because Alice went home to her mother. I never get a chance to go home to her mother. And I like her mother, too. By the time, it sounds like the telephone. Will you excuse me, please? Or better yet, follow me. Hello? Yes? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I can understand that. Will you hold on for just a second? There's somebody at the door. Hold on. Yes?
Is this the residence of Mr. and Mrs. Gobel?
It is.
You are Mr. Gobel?
I aren't Mrs. Gobel.
I'm with the firm of Cheltenham, Chillingham, and Finn.
Oh, yes, the interior decorators. Yes, the Sydney K.W. Boatwright AKC?
American Kennel Club. I also breed dogs. I'm an Airedale fancier.
An Airedale fancier. Well, you're not going to bump into many Airedales any fancier than you are. But would you excuse me? There's somebody on the telephone. I was talking when you came in. It'll only take... And now listen, just make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, I'll admit that this is no Buckingham Palace, but at least we own it outright. Me and the Bank of America. Hello. Yeah, some clown comes busting in here for no reason at all, and he... Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Well, I understand. It's one of those... Hold on just a second. Mr. Boatwright, what are you doing?
I am not doing, my dear man. I am undoing.
Well, will you kindly redo what you have just undid? And let's don't be wreaking havoc in my humble hovel. You not only arouse my pique, you may well throw the bank into a snip. Hello. No, I'm not mad at you, but this... Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. But there's something I think you really ought to know. Well, it's not that so much, but you got the wrong number. But all right. Goodbye. You know what? They wanted the fire department. Their house is burning pretty good.
Now then, sir, let us get to your problem. You called me here to decorate, did you not?
That I did call you here for.
And you stand prepared to listen with some degree of respect to my suggestions, do you not?
Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
My dear chap, whatever is your idea, surely not French provincial, or early American, or Louis XV, or even primitive modern.
Now look here, Mr. Boatwright. Some of these things you've been pounding on are priceless pieces. I'd like you to take a look at that painting over there. This painting was painted by my 9-year-old son, Greg.
Indeed.
It is an original. Yeah, he calls it the Mona Lisa. And you know, I will never figure out how he dreamed up a title like that.
And then, my dear Mr. Gobel, perhaps he can help the critics solve a problem that's been worrying them for centuries. Why is the Mona Lisa smiling?
Well, the way Greg explained it, she had just finished saying cheese.
My dear Mr. Gobel, this will probably come as a terrible shock to you, but this picture is world famous, and your son did not paint it.
Mr. Boatwright, you have just broken a father's heart.
Oh, my dear chap, let's forget pictures. Leave everything to me. I work intuitively. This house speaks to me. Open me up, it calls. Tear down my drapes, it yells. Let me breathe, it sobs. I want to live.
There, old girl, pull yourself together. I had no idea that Gobel Gables was so emotional.
My dear Mr. Gobel, houses are living things. They're not only glossy brick and mortar and paint and paper and shingles. They are more, much more.
Sure they are. They are taxes and mortgages and bills and leaky faucets. Oh, I tell you true, it takes a heap of heaping to make a hutch a home. Wadsworth. Come on over here and sit down for just a second, will you? I want to be frank with you, Mr. Boatwright. All I really wanted in the first place is for some klooper to come out here and splash a little paint around and slap up a little wallpaper and call it a day.
Mr. Gobel, if I confide in you, will you honor my confidence?
Heck yes.
Now listen, out in the car I got some paint and paper, and I'll knock this job off for you for less than $40 now. That's giving you a break.
Don't get excited. What a fellow has to think a thing like this over. Somebody comes busting, you got a deal, buddy.
Crazy Daddy-O! Well.
Crazy Daddy-O. And he was, too, that Daddy-O. Crazy. And I don't mean fool. Are you hip? I mean, this little boy was just flat, solid, good deluxe, American, plain crazy. Now, that's your cue, John. Play something. That's very good. Now, that means that that's the end of that episode, you see. Now, the next episode comes when Alice comes home and sees what this $40 decorator did to our home, and I feel that it's only fair to tell you this will not be a pleasant scene. As a matter of fact, all the children and squeamish adults better leave the room. And inasmuch as I feel that I fall into at least one of those categories, I better leave too. Oh. Uncle John, would you come over here for just a second? I need a little advice. I was just thinking maybe we better cut that scene completely. I don't believe the world is ready for it.
Oh, you know it too.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know, I think the best thing for me to do is go pick out a real nice present for Alice to get her mind off of that wallpaper.
That's a very good idea, George. Why don't you consult a professional gift counselor? There's an excellent one at the Wilshire Beverly.
Oh, there's a fancy store if I ever saw. They tell me that even their shoplifters drive up in Jaguars.
George, all you do is take the freeway to El Centro, and then you turn right, and you follow the old streetcar tracks till you come to the new streetcar tracks, and that is Cannon Drive, I believe. Then you take a left on Wilshire and a right on Beverly, and there you are.
And here I am.